welcome to another episode of Motorsport Ownership of Levingston Motors. It's been a while. I may have to just see what's going on to make sure I know everything again. Of course, we are in our second season at Munich, which is next. There's going to be rain apparently, which could make things interesting. You usually can get a lot of places on rain because the AI just can't handle it, but it depends how it falls. As we saw with the Black Sea last year, it was horrible. Completely messed up the strategy. But this is Munich, which is good for us because it's not engine focused. And tracks like this, driver skill, which we have the best driver in the league, in Engelhardt, comes into play a lot. Because if they can defend quite well, they can hold places. It's just his fitness is quite low. Which I believe that determines, long-term performance over the race. It used to tell you when he went over it, now it doesn't. Interestingly enough, he's not been in good form. And he's doing alright, to be fair. In fact, his second lowest form was 4.7, that was his highest finish of 6th. Eddie Marsh, still a successful musician. So she's still got 0 smoothness, but we can counter that with the mechanic trait for soft tyres anyway, which we do have here. It basically gives you 20 smoothness when you think about it, and you compare it with Engelhardt's tyre wear. Of course, long term we probably won't keep her, but we might keep her for this season. Well, we're going to keep her for this season, of course. Maybe next season. It depends on the drivers we can find. We are scouting for new drivers. But of course, we're still focusing on the car. It's still the worst on the grid. The important thing is, though, our weakest part, the engine, is up for vote to be spec. I'm gonna ignore this one. Hopefully, people vote on it because there's no qualifying, so there's no pole position. So that's actually a pointless vote because the rest of our car is quite good, comparatively speaking. Brakes are in 10th, but if I put on our best part, which is a risky part, that's why I can't do anything with it. It jumps up to 8th. So even though this season we've got the worst brakes, I can't improve them any further without making them risky. We do have the better part going into next season. So it's a big performance increase on both of them. And that'll need improving. You see, if we can make engine spec and have a good gearbox, we can really make a go for it, because the gearbox and the engine are the two. Basically, they're a key component for every race, one or the other. And they have the biggest performance associated with them as well. Like, I won this league with my other career by making engine spec and literally just going all out on the gearbox. I won it with Gomez, and as soon as I got the legendary gearbox, he won every race apart from one, I think, where he finished like 2nd. Same with suspension as well. You see, maybe still 9th for these parts, but we're getting a big increase next year. We're getting big increases next year, thanks to the risky parts. And I believe that's all I'm building, actually. Do I have 2 risky parts for everything? Apart from engine, because I should be making that spec. No, I've got one for these two, but I think once we upgrade the gearbox, maybe. $172. Can I make another part? $212. So I pay another 1 million to have 2 gearboxes that are decent next year. I will do it. Might as well. We have got money. Though I do want to improve my HQ. That's in my factory. Because that improves reliability, and if we can improve reliability quicker, we can use road stripping quicker, which can give us the edge in earlier races as well. Because we can use the nurse perk with Engelhardt to stop needing repairs and we can get reliability up quite quickly, we can actually strip those parts as well. Well, other cars can't because we're risking their reliability too much. Because our gearbox, our gearbox is pretty solid, it's our best part. Once the fully upgraded, suspension's been upgraded, that should push it towards the average. The gearbox for next year, that should slowly push towards the average as well. So our car next season should take a big jump. Yeah, and that will make next season a lot more interesting. Because we'll be competing with Dragon Racing and Dragon Race Team China and Archer in terms of car, but with a better driver. And if you look at the standings, we're not far behind them. We're only 6 points, which is not bad to say we've got the worst headquarters and the worst car. Of course, we've got a big improvement over last season. Well, I goes 70 odd points, 80 odd points behind them. But only 6 points going into race 6, which is kind of the halfway point of the season. Of course, Predator are doing better as well, but that doesn't really matter. But I think with Eastwood gone, the points are being split a bit more as well. Because Kruger, even though they come down from last season, and we've not got the drivers, and they've got the best car now. But the drivers are only average, so Garuda can compete with them. Can I scout anybody else? I can. So I've got a few already. I think these are from last season actually. So the problem is she's got low marketability, and as a second driver, because Engelhart's our primary driver because he's the best, we need someone who's decent with high marketability. Which is why I got Andy Marsh. Because we can't win the title, so there's no point in getting two good drivers. So a decent driver who can beat Evans from Predator with good marketability. See, he's alright all around, but he's spoiled. So he can't get the highest, the second tier trait from the mechanic, and he's selfish as well. So that's going to make everyone unhappy, despite his marketability. But while I'm here, is there anyone left to scout who doesn't have a team? Yes, there is. Rick DeGraff. I know him from Demos. That's playing this game. I don't think he'll join us. I think he'll be too good. So I know he's already good, so that's kind of cheating, but whatever. But that's enough backstage background work. Eddie Marsh still with zero smoothness because she's a successful musician. Engelhart just divorced, but that's about to run out. Okay, weird. Pit Crew's auto managed did make a mistake last time, although he should be replaced. He should be replaced. Right, continue. Come on, chap. Tractor were both. We can get that. Set up. Yeah, everything's fine. Let's go. I will take practice and I will see you for the race. Well, that is the end of practice. Engelhardt came in 5th, Ellie Marsh 9th. Both have got good setups here. Marsh with a 97%, Engelhardt with 96. This is actually our second race of the season at Munich. And the setups have actually changed quite a bit, especially with the suspension. But last season we actually came 10th and 18th, which wasn't our greatest session. But we'll see what Engelhardt can do this time. Interestingly enough, I think it was Milan that was our best performance, and that's the engine focus one. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, first things first, I'm going to have to save these setups because they are better than what I have. Oh, because it's a different track. Right, I shall save them then. That's why they're a bit different. I didn't notice that. No, I want to get rid of that one. I think I'm on track A and not track B. I am. Okay, we'll have to bin that one and save it again. Gotta get it right. Maybe this one's a bit more, corner based. If it is, we can do something here because that's where skill has the bigger say, I think, because you can't just use speed to go by. Knowledge did get all 3, but we are expecting rain, which I need to check actually. So we're going to go for light foot because 15% of what we've got is not that much. We can get that with the weight stripping, especially by using nurse. Ooh, rain's quite early there. There's no point going into it straight away, but we'll have to wait it out and see how wet it's going to get. Engine's quite a hard part to repair, so I'm going to push it with that too. With Engelhardt I will though, because we have the nurse perk. So 15% is what? About 20 performance. We can get more with the nurse perk, I think. So we can take like another 10% off it, really. Because once we get more reliability staff and more slots for it, because as you upgrade your centre, you get more staff, and you can improve the reliability of more parts. Well, might as well attack and overtake straight away. If it doesn't have to last that long. So there is going to be rain. It's going to be early. It is going to be better off on dries. You lose so much time on 4 laps of inters. Absolutely no point. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Evans in the form of his life, great. I'd love to know what actually determines form because it's just so random. And it's 5 red lights for second Munich Grand Prix of the season. Marsh off to a good start, straight into first. Engelhardt falls back to Gerard. He falls back to everybody as Marsh goes wide. Great job. We're going to have to hope that we can make up ground when switching to inters. I'm hoping they switch to inters a bit too late, Because we have the weakest engine of the lot, so speed-wise we're screwed. Gearbox is not great either. A lot cooler than it was in practice by 10 degrees. It was 27 degrees in practice, so tyres heating was an absolute nightmare. But in this race it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, go to high. Absolute crunch over here. That was both actually BMR cars in front of us. They have the better car, but not the better driver, but we'll see how much that matters. Marsh is actually moving up the field here. Oh, that's the pack. Who's that? That's Santa Ana. Santa Ana. Engelhardt moves up in that confusion. So does Marsh apparently. She's gone up one apparently. Gone to that green arrow. But on Marsh's tail, we're going for the overtake. But that's going to put us into the paws of Rogers. An absolute mess here. Oh, he's making his move on Santa Ana now. Johnston trying to make a move as well. We're both overtaken, but we get overtaken by Johnston in the process. But we're on the inside now. Marsh is in an absolute cluster. Side by side, but Johnston has the better car and he's going to pull away as we get stuck behind the other cars. I like how it's only the human drivers that ever happens to. I've noticed the human drivers tend to do that in the videos I've watched. But we are in 10th and 15th now. Marsh dropping behind a bit. The rain is coming soon. The car in front is not pushing. I'm going to overtake Evans. Engelhardt in front of both drivers. Marsh dropping position. Engelhardt loses ground to Dembele, who has the better car. Kruger, so they've got the best car in the league. So, not so much you can do about that. We've got Gruder there down in 19th, so they're going to make moves. It's Gruder behind us as well. Marsh is now ahead of Evans, so that's all that really matters. Now it's rain. Now it's rain. I'm going to pit now. It's going to go full wets. It's going to take another. What lap are we on for? I think it's going to take another like 4 or 5 laps to get to full wet tyre, and even then, it looks like it's going to stay wet. So I think switching to inters now. For both drivers, I think we're going to gain more ground here. This is quite risky here. I'm going to let people stay out. Because we're going to really gain ground, I think, if we might as well tie. There's no point. I don't think tyre heating affects performance. It's just tyre wear. People are pitting for inters, so we're making the right call here from the looks of it. We are double stacking, but I think we're going to gain ground this way. But the tyre mistake is going to cost both drivers now. That's the risk. But it's just dry. It is just dry tyres ahead of him, and people have gone straight onto wets. So I think we're going to gain more time going onto inters and then wets. But that does mean wets are going to last for a good chunk of this race. People are still on dries. So we might as well attack with the inters the entire way. There's no point in not, because we're getting ground on the people behind us thanks to the inters, because we've got the white tyres. Of course, you can see Eddie Marsh is now starting to move up the field. Everyone's in the pits, going on to wets, and Engelhardt is into second, into first, and we're going to gain some ground now. We've got clean air, we've got the best tyres for this race. We need to gain ground. We're not going to keep first, of course. So it is going to be wet tyres soon. Keep attacking, there's no point in not. They're now catching. It's now wet tyre. Okay, we're going to pit for wets now. Fuel. Ooh, it's going to go back down to inters in 6 laps time. So just one lap of fuel. So we'll pit for inters. Same for you. Yeah, I think we might have pitted too late here. Should have pitted last round. As long as there's no mistakes, we're going to be okay, I think. Oh, we're down to 18th. Looks like I made the mistake. That's unfortunate. But they're going to have to pit before us, and if they have to pit, I think they're the best strategy because they're going to go straight onto inters. But with a bit of luck, they'll go into inters a bit too early. Yeah, catching now. So we'll just speed it up. There's nothing really going on. We're catching to Evans, who's pretty crap. Oh, Ungalak can't overtake him. Come on. So my strategy was wrong. But the game is very inconsistent with this strategy sometimes, as you saw before in the Black Sea. We'll know for next time. Just go on to wets. The right tyre is irrelevant, apparently for 4 laps. Obviously wets can still be used on sort of intermediate weather because it's still wet. Right. I'm going to give you full beans here. Alright. He is pitting. Finally overtakes him. And then it's still wet tyre this lap. Now he's going to have to pit for inters. Oh, it's going to go fucking dry. No, stay out. No, you can't stay out. Oh, it's going to dry too quickly. This has been an absolute nightmare. I'm going to have to go into inters, fuel up for like 4 laps. So they're going on to dry, so we can try and catch up here. And use those 2 or 3 laps to try and catch. This might be a mistake, so I'm going to drive really quickly here. But it's the only chance I've already got. Attack. Up into 9th, but everyone's on the right tyre. Attack. Still wet weather, so we are still... I think we've got 1 more lap on the inters. No, I don't think we do. How many laps are left though? 9, so we can... Yeah, we've been an absolute boob of this race. Absolute boob. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. It's rust, you see. It's ring rust. Alright, so he's out ahead. He does not have excess fuel though, so... We're going to hope Mark Evans has to make another pit stop. If he does, See, if they have to make another pit stop, it's looking a bit better. Because we're done. Basically. And it's just randomly got stupidly hot in like 10 minutes. Great. It's great. Considering it might not even be enough now, I should check that as well. But what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to back up, it's too hot. But I think everyone else is gonna have to make another pit stop towards the end, or risk really bad tyres. I don't. We are catching Santa Ana from the looks of it. Because she's also having to ignore. Oh, you're in 20th anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. Push it, just try and catch up to Evans. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Look, it's going down now. No, it's going up again. Come on, Marsh. Evans is going to have to pit again, surely. This has been an absolute disaster. She's going straight onto wets, but I can't see it. I can't see how long that wet will last. Oh, Evans is in the pits. No. Going to medium. We're actually starting to run low on fuel a bit. And attack. Same with you, actually. Attack for a bit. Oh, we're going to finish 10th. An absolute nightmare. People are in the pit, so people are still pitting. Not Santa Ana, though, and we're not going to be in range to overtake them. Actually, yes, we are. Alright, we've got ground on last place, on Evans. I'm hoping Santa Ana goes in the pit. She's in the pit. She's in the pit. We can still get 9th place. We're ahead of Santa Ana. Ignore. We can't defend from John City. He's got a better car and a better tyre wear. So I'm not even going to try that one. There's no point. We don't care. You see Engelhart's skill here helping him out. We will give him the order to attack. And high engine fuel. It's actually final lap now, so we might as well go for it. Same with you. Conserve tyre. Tyre eating is an issue here. 14th place is ahead. We get stuck behind him and overtake him, and we somehow somewhat salvage this race. We finished 9th by a miracle. Right, look, back up. Just get the car home. It's on 16 to 18%. That's fine. That is a miracle. 14th place after that. Not the sponsor objective, and we've done worse than last time, but what are you going to do? The main thing is we've got 9th, so that's all we're doing this season. You learn from the strategy. Just trying to wets. The right tyre does not matter for 4 laps. Or 3 laps. So the dry, wet, dry was the right choice. We made 2 more stops than most people. Yeah, that interstint was a big mistake. Should have gone straight onto dries. See, 4 laps on the... Oh, to be fair, it was only 3 laps on the right tyre and 1 lap on the wrong tyre, which is what did us in. I think if we did that a lap earlier, we might have been alright, because I don't know. See, they came in too early straight onto dries, so they had to do another pit stop. So they did a time on the wrong tyre and made another pit stop anyway. Might as well stayed on wets. You got 9 laps, 10 laps, if you're careful with them. Pitted too early. Did the same as us, but went straight onto wets. Not the right strategy. Had to stay. Just stay out longer. Of course, there might be rule breaks. We don't want suffer from it because we're not fitting our rule breaking parts. He cut a corner quite early on in the race. Kruger and Firebird at the top. Garuda losing ground on the championship there. Engelhardt falls down behind Baotang now, but we do gain further ground on Predator, which is all we really care about. See, our car's so bad. A minor mistake on his strategy. I mean, that was a pretty big one, but even a minor one is enough to screw you over because our car can't compensate for it. The strategy has to compensate for the car. But good driving at the end there by Engelhardt to defend his position. It was always nice. And on the fatigue, we need to switch him out. Right. Interview, absolutely no way. We had 2 mistakes, which didn't help. So he would be good, apparently. Very low fitness. His marketability comes from this. But his fitness will go back up to 6. That's going to go to 3 as well. So he's not too bad off. Well, she's not too bad at all. I'll keep an eye on her for now. Marketability 100. High potential. Low smoothness again. Low feedback, but 100% smoothness with a permanent trait. And he is interested, so we might go for him for the marketability. And he is slightly better than Marsh as well. Although his corner is terrible. That's going to lead to a lot of mistakes, isn't it? A lot of crashes and all that crap. Right, well, I'm going to scout some more drivers. And I will see you either for the next race or for this vote. I don't know which one's first. They're both 3 weeks away. So I will see you next time for some more Motorsport with Levingston Motors.